Alright, y'all listening? You can type in no mic and I'll know. Let me see if he's undeafened in that. Oh, that's fucking bullshit. Biwi just said, okay, I want this convo to remain civil. If at any point someone feels attacked or uncomfortable, you are free to leave the group. Bullshit. Fuck that. Okay, here we go. You forced me into this situation, Biwi. Oh no, I read it. Trust me, I did. I read it. Oh no, I know. I know. I'm just gonna be honest though. I didn't want to be here. I didn't agree to it. I'm gonna promise you something though. The moment he starts monologuing or the moment he starts raising his voice, I'm leaving and I will not come back. All right. Okay. I want you to say that to him while I'm quote unquote deafened, so he thinks that you told it to him in secret. Because I'm gonna be honest, I still don't trust him. Not right now. Just text me in DMs. Yeah, I'm just gonna say something. B, we don't go back to him. All right. If he's, I know he's been bothering you. I'm sorry he has been. I'll be right back. Okay, I deafened. Um, so y'all gonna sit in silence while I go do a thing. I'll be right back. To go grab something to eat. What's up? Sure, I guess. I got nothing to say, man. I was dragged into this. I got nothing to say. It's just been a build up. Been a very long build up. The transphobia, the open resentment against the LGBTQ community, the racism against Western Americans. Surprise, I'm Western American. The blatant discomfort that I've shared when Lime said, come to him if anything was wrong, and when I go to him for something that's wrong, I get yelled at for it. The the constant yelling at me, especially when I got right out of the hospital, um, like right out of the ER, and I even informed him about it. Um, then the blowing up on me for being friends with Ruby when I made friends with Ruby, ironically, a few days before I was completely accepted into Limestone Studios via Roblox. Um, the open, just pushing aside the fact that a child made a pedophilia joke and the other guy wasn't comfortable with it. Um, Even though now he's saying whatever Lime's telling him to say, and yes, this is proof. I have literal screenshots of Mystery telling me in confidence I'm only saying what Lime wants me to say. Uh, and then the disrespect for my building ability and how I said I can and I will terraform for you, but it's going to take a month. And then you compare me to a building team that's had years worth of experience that played on Java for years while I'm stuck with arthritis and a controller that has a rotation speed slower than my own heartbeat. Uh and then the fact that when I left I texted my friends and my friends needed to know about it, so I told all my friends, hey, I'm leaving, I'm upset, I'm mad, here's what happened, here's the things that's been building up. And then once I left, other people wanted to know what happened, so people then went to me and asked me, and I told them my side of the story, and they were like, okay. It's just how it's been.
Okay, is that all?
I mean, unless you want me to cover a specific topic of a certain event that someone disagrees with.
I think we can do that at the end. Okay, Lime, go explain your take on the events that happened.
I've muted
The events
myself.
that happened this way.
I'm fucking pissed.
I feel like a lot was said by Ruby Ollie just a second ago. I don't know what to start with. Do you have a list of things that were just said here? Because whenever I'm given this much information about
bullshit.
this everything, I don't know what to start with. So just give me an example. What should I start talking about first?
I guess start with the defense of Nal.
Okay. So Nal indeed made a huge mistake month and a half ago, I believe. Yeah, or 2 months now. I don't remember exactly when it happened, but like it was like January, February. Nal said the N-word. I was really not happy about that. He
Yes, I
wanted
did.
also to say it on stream. He asked me, hey, can I say the N-word on stream? I said,
Man,
no.
this is stupid.
No.
Excuse me, he said what?
Stay quiet so the rest of us can hear
He
it.
comes from a Slavic family from Eastern Europe. People from Eastern Europe are very different from the West, the American people. Different ways, different jokes.
Yeah, no, he said the N-word.
Because we talked to people.
And he's also defended Nal for being a pedophile.
Something was brought up that was a little funny and unusual because I thought people would not be into that kind of stuff, but apparently his friends are, but it's unrelated to the topic. So, he was saying the N-word in the first place. He said his excuse was really stupid. He said he was saying it because his Balkan friends were saying it. So it took me like maybe multiple days of talking to him to tell him, hey, you can't really do that. If they do it, that doesn't mean you're allowed to do that. It doesn't work like that. You can't say this kind of stuff. I mean, sure, you can say it back in Poland or Russia, where I come from. It won't be as much of a problem there because people that normally would be affected by this don't give a crap about anything that's being said there because they know it's just a joke and they're not going to start a whole dramatic situation out of it. So
I'm gonna be honest. If he starts going on a monologue, I'm going to hang up.
Contact with Western people. Western culture is different. They really react to this kind of stuff. I mean, even I agree. We can't really say certain things, especially as to do with racism, because this is racist. This is direct racism, and we don't want to go that route. I told him that.
Why is he only covering the racist bit and not the pedophilia and the pornography?
If he does that again, I'm kicking him out because at this point I just gave him too many chances.
All right, and in that sense, I wish to ask a question. You've given him chances.
I am not done with my monologue.
Cool. We're doing monologues? Hey, Biwi, what did I tell you before this?
Like, in the beginning it was said that one speaks everything they want to say, then the other person speaks everything you want to say, and then we ask each other questions.
Okay, then. We're gonna be here for a couple hours.
I'm gonna like quickly interrupt you, Lime.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ollie, let's please just let Lime finish, and then we can ask like all the questions afterwards.
Fucking
like,
bullshit.
I want us
He's
to
gonna
remain
rant.
civil. I want there to be no
I'm
like
muted, by the way,
hostility
but
and
he's
stuff.
gonna rant for 30
So,
minutes.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna get tired of holding
Lime,
this
please
phone.
continue.
Right, so I talked to Nal about this stuff. He does something like that again. I'm saying, hey, we can still be friends, but I can't really have you on my team for this. It seems like you don't care about the whole team shebang. If you do that, what do you want me to do about this? I can't really cover you up again on this stuff. You did it once. That can be considered as a mistake. It will not be allowed twice. I told him that, and I sure hope he understood. I can't speak for him, but I hope he understands what I meant to say to him. So that's about now. What were the other things that were mentioned by Oli that I should cover now? I think it was something to do with the whole being mistreated on Lime Studios.
Yeah, because he did mistreat me.
No one's being mistreated on Lime Studios.
Bullshit.
And here is what I have to say about the things that have been done on Lime Studios that you count as mistreating, which doesn't seem to be the case for the majority. And nor to me, because I feel like I was somewhat reasonable with the people I have on my team. There's a set of rules that I'm gonna cover. There were some rules that were broken. I'm gonna explain why that was really bad and how that caused my reaction to it with the whole being demoted thing before Oli left in the first place. Now, the whole mistreating thing, I'm gonna speak on not on behalf of anybody, but I'm gonna cover specific parts that were related to Oli in this case, because we're talking about Oli. I want to cover what happened with Oli in the first place. The whole shebang with Oli going to hospital. I didn't know Oli was going to hospital before she told me that.
Bullshit.
And before I told that, yeah, I raised my voice on VC once. That was the only time I did that. The rest of the time, something else was happening. I'm gonna cover that as well. But after that moment happened, Oli has been acting differently to me. Let's say on VCs, I was counting these as jokes at first, but they became very repetitive, and at this point, it looked like a whole thing with. Hey, Bill, can you cover what's happening in the DMs right now, please? Seems like whole. Yeah.
Ollie said that they texted you the day before they came back from the hospital.
Right, but I'm not ready for questions that I'm still talking about. Yes. I'm still talking about that. I don't want to be interrupted, because if I see a message, just like I have to respond. I don't. I want to finish what I have to say. Like, I didn't bother you when you were speaking, Ollie. I don't want to be bothered now. So what happened is, yeah, I was sure. I was told about the whole hospital thing, but I didn't know they were like they plunged something into your neck or whatever happened. Like, I don't
What do you think happens at the
You
hospital?
weren't able to move for a certain period of time. I was never up with that until he told me. But after that period, Oli started acting very differently towards me, such as I was constantly getting, I thought this was jokes at first. Honestly, I just didn't pay attention. I was like, oh, sure, Oli is saying that, so I'm fine with that. Even if people insult me, I'm fine with me being insulted, just as long as it doesn't bother me as much or people involved, I'm fine with that. But the whole thing with now I see why that was happening is because Oli was losing respect for me for a long period of time. After that situation specifically, and also when the whole drama happened with Daniel, that also contributed to the fact that Oli started acting this. Maybe Oli doesn't see the change in their own acting. I would understand if they don't. But this is what exactly was happening that I am telling you now. And I think there is, besides me, I think there are people that can confirm this. We talked on VCs with other people a lot, so maybe some people can confirm that. Then I'm saying maybe because maybe some people don't want to be involved. I personally don't want to be involved in this situation, therefore I asked Bill if we could organize this little call here so we may figure this out once and for all, because I don't want to be dealing with this mess. I don't think anybody wants to. took me a while to calm down from this because the negative feedback I've gotten from the community,
I wonder why.
from all the things that were told by Oli and others involved, were in half sense not the truth. I was bothered by the other people because of it.
Where? So the only reason he's in a VC with me right now is so he can put his poor mind to rest.
It wasn't passive.
Stupid.
It wasn't nowhere close to being passive.
Motherfucker.
I'm gonna get to that in a
Bro,
second.
I myself said stay away from him a long time ago. I'm not kidding you at all.
Ooh, I wish I could say something.
Only questioning absolutely everything I do. Every single thing I do.
It's my job.
Like that one time I was in class at the university, I was cool with Oli DMing me during class because I was done with my work. Either way, I was cool with that. But Oli asked me about, I believe it was a censure, a guy I hired that Oli didn't think high of because they seemed like they bothered us during the stream, which they did at first, but then I realized I overreacted to the situation when we talked about stuff. Centuries seems to be a close friend of one of my best friends, if not the best friend ever, that I ever met in this community. And we talked about a few things, and I realized this person is very much level-headed, and we can work together on stuff. Century is very cool. I have nothing against the person, so I was like, okay, cool. You seem like you're a nice person. I can get you on the team. But that caused Oli to question absolutely everything that has to do with this topic. And it seems like the way how Oli was acting also made Ruby act differently towards me. Because after Oli started questioning on pretty much almost everything that I do, all my decisions, Ruby joined in on that. And from what I was told, apparently Oli has been making a group of people in the back for a little while now, which doesn't seem like friendly. Whenever you make a group specifically to talk about some stuff, I don't know much about that, but I know that if this group was formed, there is a reason this group was formed, and it's obviously there's an obvious reason why. It's because of me. So
yeah, I wonder
clearly
why.
something was going on.
Yeah, something's going on.
And overall, just Oli changed, and Oli's and Ruby's behavior changed towards me, and it wasn't pleasant. I was ignoring the whole behavior change because I felt like this would be unnecessary talks about that, and maybe it's temporary. Okay, it's fine then, if it's temporary. But it turned out into something completely different, something very unpleasant that I and many other people do not want to deal with. No one wants to deal with this. No one. But the situation was later spiced up by Oli herself when they started messaging other people about this stuff. And
really?
I was unnecessary. I don't see why that had to be done. There's no doing that. The reasons that I was provided with by Oli today and previously are mostly invalid. I already covered the whole thing with now. I already covered with the whole mistreating thing. I actually say that I did not mistreat Oli. In any of the situations, I was only telling Oli to calm down. It was perceived by Oli that I was yelling at them all the time. Maybe because of their mental sickness. I don't know how that stuff works.
He's gonna blame that on
sickness. I only have one other friend who has it, but he's level-headed enough to understand not to get, too emotional about stuff, and so he can control himself. It seems like Oli is not able to do that, unfortunately, because of how Oli reacts. I can only tell that this is because of how Oli is. So
I've controlled myself for months.
But I still have to.
What do you guys want me to say to him? Put your answers in the no mic below.
And when they act differently because of that, and because they have different ways of communicating, doesn't matter what it is. I have to take care of the situation. And
besides, obviously, calling him an asshole and shit.
I don't know why I wasn't able to DM you all. Not be happy with that. I don't know if it's because we don't have any mutual service anymore that we are on, that we're not able to DM each other, or that I'm not able to send you messages anymore because you blocked me.
You should record this.
You said you want to leave passively, but from the actions that were done recently, that doesn't look to be passive at all. It looks very, very, very toxic. A mistake I made in this situation is that I should not have kept Oli on the team for this long.
No shit.
I was told that there were some red flags happening after the whole drama with Daniel that happened. I was told, hey, Lime, you should probably pay attention to that. I said, no, it's probably temporary. It's Ollie. She's nice. She's cool. I wasn't against Ollie all the times. I had nothing against Ollie. Zero things. I was just not cool with how Ollie sometimes would act towards me, but I kept my cool on it because I know that Ollie has trouble, which I know that Ollie has trouble, Ariel, and I don't want to give her more trouble by saying something mean again, so I just avoided the topic. But if I have to act on something, I had to. And so during that building session, I believe, on Friday, 2 weeks ago, or was it 2 weeks? 2 weeks ago, I was told that, well, I brought Ollie and Ruby and other people like Blue, I believe, on the VC, because apparently they didn't want to be on VC with other people, which felt weird, and it doesn't feel like a proper system was working. So I asked them if they could please not use a private EM group anymore and be on the general VC.
No, that is
do a building session with everybody else. But at that time, Ollie seemed to be very hyper. Very hyper. I don't know the reason. Maybe because of the thoughts that Ollie had in her head about what was going on with me. I don't know, I can't tell. But it seems like something was going on. And I said, okay, let's rebuild the Rainbow Town's like underwater area. One block reference. Replica. And I was told that this would be impossible. Then I said that, hey, water is see-through in some cases. We can try to do our best to make a whole replica. I was told this would take months to make. I said it's fine that it would take months to make.
No, you did not.
We need to make this because the project of Steve Saga is not going to be resumed until summer starts. Possibly because it's only then I will be able to do more stuff. And by that time, I'm doing another project that would get more people on our team to help us out. Which would be more reasonable to do instead of just trying to do this C-Saga stuff constantly. You see, it barely works. Every 7 months we do it. It lasts for a week or two, and then it doesn't work because people come and go. And I said, okay, let's make another project. And so I said, hey, we have all the time we need. If it takes months, you guys do it. But then I kept having complaints about Ollie pretty much not wanting to build this. Ollie did not tell me that she didn't want to build this. Ollie said that it would take a long time to do it. So instead of the alternative I suggested, the complaints kept happening. I told Ollie then that, hey, okay, you don't want to do a one-on-one block replica thing? It's fine, let's improvise then. But even when I said, okay, let's improvise, I said, okay, let's do it your way, let's improvise. Like you said, you want to do the whole ground thing? Yeah, sure. You can do that. I'm fine with that. Just please let's not make a mess out of it. And even then, I kept getting complaints about, hey, this is gonna take a while to do it. Fun fact: we finished the whole building in 2 days.
Yeah, and I bet it looks like shit.
Monday or Tuesday, we were just done with it.
I bet it looks like shit.
Finished. It's done.
I bet it looks horrible. I bet it looks really horrible.
So that happened, and then on that Friday day, Ollie, Ruby, and Blue went into a GM group again.
This is the same Friday that he defended a pedophile.
Themselves. I didn't understand that. So okay, like I said before, go on to the VC with us. Let's talk. We're working on as a team here on the Discord VC. Why do you need to distance yourself? And I kept getting refusals. A lot of refusals.
Because you can't take no.
Ollie kept saying, hey, no, we're not gonna do that. Then I finally convinced him to get on VC, and then I was told by by Ollie when she joined VC, hey, apparently we're not allowed to advertise on the Discord server, so I went into the DMs with Ollie and Blue, with Ruby and Blue to advertise to Ruby the whole Shattered Saga thing. Or Dark Steel Saga, whichever that one was. And I said that's not alright, because first of all, you're not allowed to send DMs to people. That's a rule on the team, rule number 6. that you're not allowed to DM anybody unless you befriended them before joining the team.
Which I did.
The whole Roblox thing that I was told moments ago, it's invalid because that could have been made up. At this point, a lot of things were made up in this situation by Ollie. I don't know if it's only Ollie or somebody else. Seems like Ollie isn't even control of the situation. Ollie has a high ground because of the situation that they structured themselves. I did not cause this situation in the first place. It wasn't caused by me. It was caused by Ollie, and then it was also reacted by the associates that Ollie gathered by searching through ex-staff members of my team. Which that seems like a kickback. I guess I get or backstab, whatever the word for that is. So it means that Ollie broke rule number 6 of no sending, friend requests or DMing people that they don't know. Ollie also broke rule number 9 about advertising, and Ollie also broke rule number 10 about not telling me anything about how they're feeling.
I did tell you.
Told on the contrary, when I asked Ollie during that conversation we had in DMs when we were on, when I was during class, that university class, the same class I mentioned before, I told Ollie that I clearly see that you have zero trust in me because you keep questioning every single thing I do. And Ollie, on the contrary, from what I remember, said that it's not true, that it's not that, but kept asking the questions. So instead of Ollie telling me that there's no trust happening here and we should probably do something about it, Ollie decided to just continuously question every single thing I do, which at one point stressed me out. And I said, Ollie, hey, I am the owner of the group. I'm the one who's deciding stuff. Yeah, sure, you're part of the higher-ups, but I'm the one who's figuring stuff out. Then Ollie kept telling me that, hey, do you know what you're doing with the whole VC thing with this Century guy? I told Ollie, hey, I know what I'm doing. If I didn't know what I would be, if I didn't know what I were to be doing here, I wouldn't have done this in the first place. So I kept having complaints. At one point the conversation ended. I don't remember what it ended, but wasn't something high. Now on to the whole, going back to the whole mistreating thing. Mistreatments did not happen. It is the way how Ollie perceived me to behave as, probably because of some IRL background, probably that, but I am not related to that problem. Whatever is Ollie going through IRL and what kind of past experience they've had, that does not correlate with me. The whole thing with doing something illegal like grooming that I was insulted of has nothing to do with me either. There was no grooming happening. I made a joke about Russian candy that's called Alyonka, and I made a reference that Alyonka and Ollie sounds similar. Plus, from a face cam that Ollie did on their own, they did this face cam in a group VC with us at one point, and Ollie kind of looked like the Russian girl on the candy wrap of a candy called Alyonka. So I said that's probably the same person. I made a joke about it. I don't know why Ollie is using this as an excuse of me grooming Ollie. I don't even live in the same country as Ollie. I'm not even interested in anybody now. I have a girlfriend. That's what you want to know. I'm not interested in any of this nonsense that was invented to make me look bad. I'm not involved in this. These lies, I guess, were experimentally created to make me look bad, so people don't talk to me anymore. Seems like this happened after I sent a message that I sent Ollie, or maybe before that. This was happening when stuff were already happening in the background, seems like. And it's not fun. It is not fun. In this situation, Ollie did not get any pain from me. Ollie got pain from herself. On her own beliefs that she is because of a mental sickness. I don't know that. Maybe that's what the case is. Maybe it's because of how Ollie personally sees the situation. Ollie thinks that I am some kind of evil person who wants to do something bad. One thing I don't understand, at one point we're just talking with Biwa, and Biwa just mentioned something about Connor? You're working with Connor again. Yeah, I was constantly
because
being
Connor's a
told by
better
you
fucking. Nah,
that
I didn't tell you
you're
shit.
being mistreated at the Dark Steve saga.
That
The
was
guy who
Dark
mistreated
Steve
you
Saga
the
when we
most
quit
was Connor,
a
the
while ago.
Alex guy. And so now what I get to know
That
is
was
that
when.
apparently you're working
Nah.
with this guy again. Ollie, there's definitely something wrong in this situation.
Nah.
There's
He
definitely something
he
wrong
brought
because
up
of the
when
things that
he
you told me
said
about that other
he
guy.
forced me to talk about Dark Steve Saga.
And you
He
with
forced
this
me to
guy
talk about
again
Dark Steve Saga,
after
and
everything that
he
this person
basically
actually
said,
did to you?
"Who's been mistreating you?" And I said, "Connor has been mean to me once or twice."
Out of everything that this guy did to you, I haven't done a single thing of that to you. Except for being
Really?
loud once on 1VC.
Bullshit.
But that was it. That was a one-time thing.
Bullshit.
And I wasn't even screaming.
Bullshit.
Yet again, I don't remember if I told you I am deaf.
Yes.
I'm half deaf. I can't tell if I'm loud or not. Especially when I get nervous. This situation just really confuses me. I'm really confused. I don't get why the things that you did in the first place. I don't want to blame you, honestly. It seems like you're not in control of yourself. To me, it looks like you're not controlling what you're doing. You're just doing stuff that, like, the first thing that gets in your head, that seems to be stressful, you do it. I don't know why. I don't know what the cause of that is. Maybe the sickness, maybe ADHD, whatever that is. I don't know. But something is definitely going on here.
Connor and
I want to figure this out.
Flame Wolf were doing it a second ago.
There's no problem with this anymore between you and me, Ollie, because the things that you told me today on this VC, and things that I was also told when you left the team, left me speechless. You also seems like you also, to me, at least that's what it seems like.
I said Connor and not Mystery, but Flame Wolf.
With Cup.
Yeah.
They sent me a GM message that came from you.
Mm-hmm. I remember this. I remember this with a smile.
It just looks. This is what it looks like, at least. You manipulated BOE into sending him a message that you wrote to me to make me feel bad. It seems like in this situation, nobody. Nobody by that I mean you, Blue, and Ruby. Nobody cared about anything I had to say or anything I had to feel throughout the past situations. Do you know how bad this is being accused as a groomer when you're not? But then you have to deal with Saber staff because of that.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You don't know about that story.
No, I do.
Because it seems like you got to SAP and he said something to the other staff about this stuff. I had to deal with this throughout the entirety of a week and a half of last week.
Good.
I wasn't pleasant. When somebody just creates a lie like that and spreads to people that were on my team before that I trusted, and then they do stuff like that. Well, you were one of the most trusted people on the team.
No, I was
not. If I weren't trusting you, if I weren't trying to do any good to you, why would I even give you the rank of successor Lime Studios in the first place? I removed the rank from you because I didn't want to have a mentally unstable person to be a successor of a channel. Like, you never know what happens next. You have you start to be like having a maniac scene, and then you start like deleting stuff. I don't know. It's not because I don't trust you. It's because of when I see how you behave. At one point, when I told you not to do anything on Lime Studios for the next 10 days, I did this because you were absolutely going nuts.
No!
I had no choice but to tell you, stand down, you're not gonna do anything on the team for the next 10 days. And when I told you, okay, maybe I can lower this down to 9 days. Like the last day I told you, hey, it seems like you wanna join the server because you keep texting people from the console on Discord that we have installed. Join the server now. I can allow that. I personally allow that. My word is the law on the team. If anything I decide, it's how that works because I'm the owner of a team only. And You said no, I'm gonna follow the initial thing. So for the past month and a half, you've been completely, just you didn't give a flip about me being the guy that I am on the team. And I didn't realize that. I realized it only last second when I looked back at what you've been telling me every single time we talked. There was zero trust, and now you're making things up to make me look bad and feel bad. That one thing is that's low. I think I told you this in the message I passed for Ruby. Tell you because I was low. That was really low what you did. I don't do that stuff. If I'm not good on terms with some people, I don't talk to them. And I just peacefully leave. I don't start anything like that. And I certainly don't invent stories about the person I was friends with that groomed somebody. I don't make up this kind of stories. The whole reason with the American thing that you mentioned before, it just happens that pretty much 95% of the people I ever worked with who left Lime Studios or that were banned from Lime Studios for what they did were American people from the United States of America. Then I later learned that it's because these people don't know better. I did some background research. If I said anything about what I said before, I knew exactly what I was saying. Only a year and a half ago, I started realizing who I'm actually dealing with. When I first joined this community, I was thinking high of all Americans, like anybody. I was praising any American I would see. That's what was happening. But then I looked in and I realized that most of these American people I ever worked with are, let's say, what's the right word for that? People that have issues IRL and they want to hide themselves behind the screen and they want to do something else behind that. That's never a good thing. That's never a good thing. I personally, when I was in middle school, I was going through that period.
Quit
But
clicking
when
on
I
it.
realized what kind of nonsense I was doing, I stopped. I stopped and I was not doing that anymore. But it seems like there's nobody to tell these people to stop and look back at their life and then do something about it. Because then, if like there would not be problems, but there are problems, and I need to think why these problems occur because I want to take care of those problems. I tried to help these people before, turned out really badly. Seems like whenever you try to help this kind of people, because of Western culture, and because these people who are spending so much time online with IRL, they don't know the ways of communication, proper ways of communication. They don't know how to communicate properly. So they're like savages. That's essentially what's happening. And I personally have to take care of that problem because I'm dealing with a team of those people. Back in 2020, I had a full group of those people. Same goes to 2021. Same goes to 2022. And only after the situation happened with you, I realized I can thank you for that because you made me realize the huge mistake I was doing. I was focusing on hiring anybody I could find with the capabilities of helping us out. But I did not consider the fact that if I hire somebody, they need to be level-headed.
I was level-headed.
I didn't consider that.
I was level-headed.
And
I've been level-headed.
When he told me that you have mental issues on that one VC, you told me.
I told him I had ADHD and depression.
It was already a red flag, and I should have told you, okay, maybe if you stop going on IRL, maybe let's take a pause. I get you off of Lime Studios for now. When you feel better, you might come back, and then
I'm gonna feel better from my ADHD.
I didn't do that because I disregard that whole thing, because I still wanted to work with you, because I saw what you were capable of. I pretty much praised you every single time we talked about you. But when the stuff happened with the whole you acting strange towards me, I was starting to be cautious. But I didn't think that it would resolve into you making up this entire situation about me protecting a child predator and then me being also a groomer, which those two things are completely false.
Bullshit.
As for, I don't get how Nal is a child predator when he's still a child. How does that work? That's what I'm confused. I don't know what kind of... But that's not true. A child cannot be a child predator. A child can only be a child who makes edgy jokes or stupid actions that can be worked on. So while he's not 18, while he's not 18, this cannot count as online predator. And whatever he did, making edgy jokes to Mystery Wolf, I talked to Mystery Wolf about this, the guy who he told the edgy jokes to. That just, it doesn't make sense to call this dude a predator because of the things that he did. He didn't even do something too bad. The worst thing that he did is said the N-word. That I'm not okay with. Any other jokes that are happening outside of my supervision, I don't know about it. Mr. Wolf only told this stuff when we were all in VC. He didn't tell me this. He told all of us this like 5 days later. And then also kind of exaggerated it.
I'm so ready
So
to
dump
dump
as well to figure out what the heck is
all of the screenshots I have of him
yes,
incriminating his bullshit.
Okay, two things. First off, can we speed this up? Ollie has to go in 30 minutes. Second thing, Connor might want to talk to you.
Oh, Connor, what the fuck?
I don't want to talk to a guy who was pretty much abusing in every single possible way a person who did absolutely nothing to them.
Nah.
Why would I want to talk to?
Nah.
Why? I don't want to. If what all he said is true, which I believe,
oh my god,
is because I know that
Connor,
is
can
pretty
you
much
stop this bot?
An a-hole from personal experience. I don't know why. I don't like this. This really confuses me, and I don't know why you want to get Connor involved into this. I am here to talk to Ollie, not some person who, by the way, abused Ollie. It still confuses me the fact that Ollie is now with this person. It seems like a lot of people don't learn from past issues, and no, it's just I'm really confused. Honestly, I'm really confused. I don't want to have anything to do with the situation. I'm not the cause of the situation either. I don't know why this is a. For all I know, this could be said all for nothing. Maybe Ollie just doesn't want to listen to me and wants to talk about their own things after this. If anything, the person who was yelled at the most here was me.
Bullshit.
By you, Ollie.
Bullshit.
Because you were really loud on me every single time you have to say something about anything.
Because you won't listen to me otherwise.
I didn't tell you anything. I said I just ignored it completely. I didn't complain. I didn't tell you anything about any of that. But you kept doing it. You allowed yourself to do it. You allowed yourself to also break rules of a team that went for every single member. It wasn't just specifically for you or specifically for BOE. It was for everybody. There's reasons these rules exist. I already told you these reasons. There is no advertising in GMs and no people trying to take people from my team to another recording team. These are rules of the team. When you join, you agree to all of these rules. But now you're completely disregarding the whole thing. If anything, this could have been done in a peaceful way such as this. You could have come to me, told me, hey, Lime, I don't like the rules you have on the team. I wish to leave.
Okay, so that'd be.
Probably you've been willing to leave for a while from what I was told by BOE.
And 15.
But why haven't you done that?
Because I did leave.
Well, you know there is an issue between you and me. You don't want to discuss this with me properly. The second you keep it to yourself and you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna leave at one point. And then at the end of the day, you go and drag half of Lime Studios with you. Half of my team that I formed. I don't see the point. You could have come to me and say, hey Lime, I don't want to work here anymore. I wish to quit. I would be down for that, honestly. I would have nothing against it. I would be sad, obviously, because you would leave, because you helped us a lot. I'm really grateful for the builds that you made on the servers.
Yeah, the ones that you
I'm still
told.
crediting you for this.
No,
for record.
no, you're not.
But
No, you're not.
I'm confused on the recent actions you were making.
No, you're not.
Really am. And from being called a groomer, I don't like. People asked on the team, hey, so Ollie left. I called you a groomer. What are you gonna do with the whole crediting thing? I didn't know what to answer. Because at the same time, you did so much stuff on Live Studios in building. But to ask you to do certain things. of that, and I still want to credit you, but at the same time, do I want to be associated still with names, even if it's just names, it's still being associated with a person who did all this stuff in the back and practically backstabbed me
Backstab
many
you.
times at once, usually other people. That's I don't.
We've been in this call for 52 minutes, by the way,
It confuses me.
right now.
It confuses me, and it's really painful. It seems like you do not give a flip about my pain. I didn't tell you much about my pain, but you kept telling me about yours. I was understanding you, but now I don't, because at this moment, it just seems like the only life priority is what you want to do.
Connor,
And if anything
if you
your brain
talk
wants
to
do,
him
you
by
just
any
absolutely wanna
chance
do
and he
it.
tells you I said shit,
I.e.
the only
going
shit
to
I
people's
can
DMs and
promise you
telling
that
them
I
about
told
live
you,
streams before
that
it's
I
too
told
late.
him, was that when we were in Dark Sea Saga and it was in full swing, you were being mean and
You
doing the bullying
caused
at
me
the
to
time. That was
lose
it.
some friends along the
Just
way.
saying.
I'm just glad that Biwa is open-minded about this stuff, so I managed to talk to him about this. But
Just so you know, Connor.
you caused me problems. I didn't cause you problems. You caused your problems.
No.
You caused the problems you have on your own.
Mm-mm.
But you caused me problems additionally because you were feeling bad. If you didn't like the rules of the team, you could have left.
I did. I did leave. I didn't like
you
your rules.
completely disregarded the rules. You didn't give a flip about anything I had to say, and you just did the things that you wanted to do. And that's unfair. That's unfair. You're not a fair person, Ollie. And I really don't want to blame you. I seriously don't want to blame you for this. I know what's going on at your IRL situation you told me about. It's really like full nonsense. I don't know why things are happening that are happening to you. I'm really not okay with the things that are happening to you because it's really bad. Then
And
again,
now
I
he
can't
pretends to
really
care.
stay quiet about all the stuff you do here online.
We.
Me. And to other people involved. You caused quite the havoc. Being accused of groomer is probably the worst thing I ever felt.
Like, Connor, you
was
even
toxic.
can tell that this is fake shit.
If anything, the only person here who was being really mean and anything, it was you, Ollie. It was you.
Really?
I was being quiet all along with the things you were telling because I thought it was just minor issues.
What time is it?
Go away at one point. I didn't think you would turn around like this and
9:53. I need to wait for it to get to 9:55 so I can say that I've got 20 minutes left.
against me like that.
I need to say that I've got 10 minutes left.
Ruby doesn't even know how to figure stuff out in the online world. They only the parents allowed them to use social media maybe less than a year ago or something like that. And I was like the guy who was mainly telling them what was really going on, what to avoid. But maybe seeing a person from the same country, the same way of speaking and expressing themselves, seeing their behavior and then going along with that made Ruby act the way they did. Which was stupid. I don't get why you guys had to start this whole war type of stuff. I call it war because it seems like you went for it. You could have left Lime Studios and just, not bother talking to me or anybody involved anymore. But you decide to go after the people that I ever worked with. Some people that did something very stupid. Like, I don't know exactly who you talked to, but I know that some people back in Lime Studios back in the day were doing something really dumb. And they were removed for a reason. One being that, which I don't know, no, he's not around anymore. He is kicked. But somebody did something way stupid than what you did. But it's not as stupid as blaming me for things I didn't do, such as grooming. I don't understand. It took me a while to think about this situation because there were at least 16 ways this could have been avoided. And in most cases, I was already doing the effort to avoid that. You didn't. You kept going. It seems like you also don't really wanna hear me saying all of these things, the truth about the situation, because it keep reminding me of the time I have left. Ollie, I honestly, I'm out of words, so I don't look into the answer. I don't read what you're saying right now. I don't look at it right now, but you're very unfair with me, Ollie. Very unfair.
Unfair?
And all I know is that after I finished with this monologue thing, all I know is that you could just go back to the whole your personal ideology thing and still call me a groomer even though I didn't do anything. Well, if I wanted to do something really stupid that you're blaming me for, I would have done it.
You did do it.
But I didn't.
You did do it.
Because I know it's stupid, I know it's illegal, and it's just something that doesn't interest me at all. Why would that stuff even interest me?
I'm gonna interfere here a little. I feel like we're starting to go in circles here, and we're gonna run out of time.
Yeah, let's go.
So, Ollie, if you have any questions for Lime, ask them. Afterwards, Lime, if you have any questions for Ollie, you'll be able to ask Ollie questions.
Cool. For one, Nal is a minor and you let him watch pornography. You didn't get him fired for that. I'm going to cover that real quick. The definition of a pedophile or an online child predator is someone that seeks contact with children or adolescents on the internet for exploitative purposes such as sex or sexual and violent ideas. This may include grooming, engaging in sexual activity, unwanted exposure of materials and pictures, online harassment, threats to cause fear or embarrassment. That's first of all just the definition of a child predator. So, regardless of the fact that they live somewhere else and their things are different, does not excuse the fact that a child predator is a child predator, regardless if you are a child yourself. That is the rule of the law, for one. For two, again, I didn't lie to you, because I'm not gonna lie to your fucking face. I'm not that shitty to lie to your face and say, oh yeah, me and Ruby friended each other on Roblox before we hung out on Lime Studios. I'm not gonna lie about that. We were friends. You, during that building session, said directly to my face, Saber built all this in a week. And you put constant pressure on me, Blue, and Ruby to terraform, go to videos, get screenshots, and get everything block for block with the correct block palette. I told you we could do it. I gave you the deadline of a month because I wanted to make sure I got everything right. You got upset at that. And then when I said, fine, you know what? If you can let us free terraform, we'll do that. And we can do it, and we can speed up the process. But then I said, but I, myself, Blue Steve, and Ruby would like to do it. You wouldn't let that happen. I was overstimulated and I had mental distress from the day. So I said, hey, I'm not feeling good. I'm going to go into VC with my friends so I can calm down. Because, like you've been saying, I need to watch my mental health. And if that means getting away from people that are causing my mental health to be bad, then that means I need to get away. And I did. And no, you didn't convince me to come back. We came back because you wouldn't stop telling us, get back in this VC now. Get back in this VC now. We showed up. Then you got mad at us. Then you demoted me again. We're not even going to grace over the fact that I was senior staff, and then you demoted me without telling me, and then you demoted me without telling me. And I was doing my job that I assumed I was told to have as senior staff. I was doing my things. You called me and you said, "Are you the police, Ollie?" When I literally texted you, and when you were talking about a censure, I was fine with that. I didn't care. Okay, I was cool with it. But I remembered what happened and the problems that you had, and I was doing what I needed to do. And as I've said here, I can read DMs just to because apparently you don't, like you just openly admitted. I said I'm worried is all, and you said you couldn't have brought him on for testing, whatever. And I said I'm just asking, Lime. And the reason why I don't talk to you is because of this one sentence right here. And if you had actually read the sentence, you would have understood. I don't want to press my luck with my honest opinion. If I'm scared to press my luck with my honest opinion for the first time, and then you shoot me down like this and you say, do I need to send you written reports of who was being hired at the time and what methods they used? Of course of course I'm going to lose trust in you. You've used a mimicking tone with me when I'm that. Honestly. Constantly. You brush over that topic. Whatever. When you said I was leaving passively, I didn't say that. I can read you the DM again because you don't read it from what you've just said. I said this is a passive goodbye. I was polite to you in the way I said goodbye. That's what a passive goodbye means. And I covered the things that I've seen, such as you letting Now get away with making boobs and ass on a Rainbow Steve statue, putting a pornography reference in the Rainbow Steve head, filled with minors. The server was filled with minors. Now is a minor himself. Regardless of anything, watching pornography as a child is illegal. You defended that, and then when Mystery tried to come to you, you got on to Now, and instead of doing what everyone told you would be the right option, like even Dan, even Blue and Ruby and myself, anyone who was in that VC told you, you should probably fire him. But all you basically said was, now you do this again and oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad, I'm gonna have to take action. I'm probably going to have to demote you. Not fire, demote. Not again to mention the fact that, no, you didn't yell at me only one time. You've yelled at me multiple. Blue Steve can confirm. Ruby can confirm. I warned you that I had ADHD, and I warned you that I had depression. In all of your, let's see here, your announcements, let me get onto the screenshots here. I do not want to be associated with this part of Western culture. It's abracadacious. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Constantly, Ollie is the mentally ill person. We are no longer associated. Ollie's mentally ill. Ollie's mentally ill. Ollie's mentally ill. My biggest mistake was hiring mentally ill person in the first place. Mentally ill person is messaging my entire team to get them to leave. Do you know how many people have come to me because they're mentally ill? Mystery's mentally ill. Nova Steve's mentally ill. Flame Wolf's mentally ill. And they're not as level-headed as I was. Let's be honest, they weren't. They aren't. And I lost it on you. What does that say about what happened there? I'm not saying you ever mistreated me. You didn't. I never said that. I don't know how the fuck it started. I never said you were a groomer. One of my adult friends said, your situation sounds a lot like grooming. And that was it. And that's what one friend said, and it went on from there. I never said you mistreated me, but you never heard me out. When I asked you for one thing or another, when I tried to be open with you, when I tried to be polite, instead of you being polite back, you'd be like, no, 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 no. You didn't give me a reason when I asked for one. And then I started being abrasive or as you call it, downright straight fucking rude, because otherwise, if I used soft, gentle words, you wouldn't have listened to me. If I didn't say, no, 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 you shut up, let me speak, you would have monologued in whatever conversation we were having at that time for hours, and then you wouldn't even let me speak, and you would have gone in circles and circles and circles and made it about you. Because you've done that. You've been doing that for a while. Not to mention the fact that you were having a bad day. You were having a bad day. And the person who apparently doxed you twice, who actually turned out to be a lie. Yeah, the person who doxed you twice, you outed them to an entire staff that didn't need to know that. They didn't need to know that Dan was previously a she and that her name was Sarah. You didn't need to dead name him. You didn't need to expose that to him. With you saying you had a girlfriend just now in the VC, I kind of call a little bit of bullshit on that. Because, last time I was in the VC with you, you said you had a half North Korean, half South Korean wife. And now you're saying you have a girlfriend. Which is it? Because you told me in confidence when you and I were hanging out while I was building that you were single. The whole Russian sweet candy thing, whatever it was called, you never correlated the fact that you were calling me a Russian sweet candy to the fact that you thought I looked like the mascot. Whoever thought that that sounded like flirting probably thought it was flirting. That's it. Let's see. What else do I need to cover? I was never rude to you, and I'm going to tell you these things, and I'm going to tell you them honestly. You put a lot of shit on Ruby. And Ruby, who was my friend before Lime Studios, once again, as I will mention, said that you put a lot of responsibilities on her. And Ruby also said that they wanted to quit. And that they were tired of getting undermined, talked over, like you were God, and that their opinions didn't matter. And I said, well, maybe he's like that, but I think I'll stay around. Ruby told me about what you did, about how rude you could be at times. But I said, you know what? I'll give him a chance. I'll be nice. I'll be really, really nice. And I tried to be nice. You'd talk over me. I'd go quiet. I told you in confidence to relate to your scenario of your friend attempting to commit suicide. And I said, yeah, I attempted it too. I know how it feels, and I'm sorry you had to do that. At that moment, you said, you're going on a 10-day break now. And when I asked you politely once if I could come back, you said no. So I was like, okay, that means I'll stick to it. Even though you told me that it was a week, and you turned it to 10 days. Let's see, how much time do I have left? Okay, cool. You said it was a week, turned it to 10 days. When I asked you if I could come off because my mental health was improved, because I had gotten enough of being by myself, because I can't be by myself for long, as we can joke or whatever, because apparently I'm so mentally ill with my ADHD and depression that, oh my god, it's influencing every single act I do, and there's no way that an actual person can have these thoughts. You hoped I would get better from my depression? It's untreated, for one. How can I heal from depression in 10 days? It wasn't even revolving around you. And if anything, you probably made it worse because I've now been isolated by most of my friends for 10 days. You pushed me away. But that's another demon all in itself. Let's not cover that one. How about all the times that I tried to do a building that you requested and you'd get upset with me because I didn't do it the Java way because I don't know Java? Or how about the times when I asked you about commands and you said you wouldn't understand it, you're a Bedrock player, Java commands are too complex. When I asked you about the /fill command, you said, don't you do it, you'll fuck something up. When I asked you about world edit, you said, you're not going to use that. You're a Bedrock player. You wouldn't understand anyways. Bewee and Cup wanted to leave too. And I bet they can cover that on their own terms. Because that's their own prerogative. That's their thing. But they came to me when I left. Ask and you shall receive. That's my entire policy. Alright? Let's see. What else did you say? Besides the fact that Americans are always like this. Am I missing anything, Bewee? What's another important thing that Lime said? Because I'm gonna cover that before I have to go here.
I think we might be done. I don't know. Was there something else?
I'm trying to figure it out.
Wait. Okay, I need to be quieter.
Alright, let's see. I told you in confidence about my PTSD with shouting, and even though while you are, as you said, 50% deaf, or whatever, you didn't mind your volume that much, and it would trigger. And when I got sad, you told me basically the effective of suck it up. And when I tried to, you said quit being a wuss. And when I told you, hey, I'm gonna go deal with this, you said, no, you're gonna stay on this VC. You're gonna stay here with us. Just like that day when I just wanted to build in peace after being overstimulated, like I clearly stated in the VC. And then you told us to get back on there at that very moment just so you could yell at us and then yell at me for being friends with Ruby. You didn't even cover Ruby. You went straight after me. Now, let's see. Oh, no, there is one more thing. Saying I'm controlling the entire operation is actually pretty much a lie. I have been a bystander in all of this. As I have said before, and as I shall say again, ask and you shall receive. People were asking me what happened. I told them what happened. I gave them screenshots. I gave them evidence. The witnesses told their testimonies. They acted from there. I can't control them. Like how you couldn't control Pandy and Spider when they raided Saber's Discord server. Let's see. Besides the general disrespect you seem to have for your own rules, because again, as I will say, you seemed like you were God. You wanted to talk to me like you're still my boss. Like I should still pay attention to you. Is infuriating at most. I'm trying to keep my voice down so I can be polite with this. Because apparently, being shouty means I'm mentally ill. And that's scary. Super duper scary. Oh no. Right? Because I'm mentally ill. Like actually, a majority of your staff is also mentally ill. Mystery Wolf is one of the most mentally ill out of all of them. He's depressed. Just like me. How scary. How super duper scary. One more thing I will cover before I have to leave. Drum roll, ladies and gentlemen. I was senior staff. You've demoted me constantly without telling me. I was social media manager, then I was senior staff, and then I went down to a tech producer, and then a lead builder. And then after that, when you figured out me and Ruby were friends, you shouted down at the mic at us. You wouldn't let us get a single word in. And then you demoted us. Ruby had a higher rank than I did. If you'll notice, Ruby was still a lead actor. Which Ruby actually told me they said it didn't sound fair. and I won't cover that because that's for Bewee and Ruby and Cup and anyone else who wants to talk to you about it can say. I've told you my half. This is my grand monologue. You act like you're God, and you tell everyone, you shut up and you listen to me. My word is law. I am your boss. You will do everything I say. And if we do everything you say, Lime, how come we have to do everything you say with no arguments, but then you want us to come to you in that same stance and talk to you about anything that we're upset about that you've been doing? I've told you about you being like doing all the Western American, Western American, Western American, Western American stuff, right? I did. I remember that. I remember that vividly. You continued to do it. So basic recap, since apparently a large list of information can't be remembered. Um, a child predator is a child predator, regardless of age, regardless of where they grew up. I didn't spread you being a groomer, you being a pedophile, or you mistreating me. I didn't say any of that shit. You've disregarded my boundaries countless times, and I had to adapt so you would listen to me because you treated me so lowly, like I was the scum underneath your feet. People wanted to leave and they left because they asked me what happened. They wanted to know. I left and I just texted all my friends. I said a passive goodbye. I told you goodbye politely and that I was willing to work with you. And soon after that, you started doing announcements saying, "Staff members, attention! People by the name of the Spectral Ruby and Ollie Steve are spreading negative propaganda in some of your DMs. This affected the ones by the names of Cup for You and Bewee Onyx, who were manipulated by Ollie and Ruby. We are no longer associated. At staff members, I encourage you all to cut contact with these individuals as they are trying their best to destroy this team." Again, I wasn't doing shit. I was hands off the keyboard. People came to me. People asked me questions.
If this wasn't you, who was it then?
Who's to say that I know? I wish I did.
Maybe you do. Maybe that was your plan.
Lime, I'm still speaking. I believe it's not your turn. I believe it's not your turn. Via your own rules, I believe it's not your turn.
I feel like you're trying to pull this all on me for some reason because of how bad you felt. I don't know who planned all of this, by the way. I assume it was you because of all the messages people were getting.
And it wasn't. The only message you got from me was me saying hi to you from Bewee and Cup. Because I wanted you to know, the only thing I wanted you to know is that they came to me to leave. That's all.
Toxic.
Yeah, and you shouting down the mic at me constantly isn't? And you telling me to shut up constantly isn't?
I didn't shut it.
I believe I'm still talking.
Ollie, I don't know what your beliefs are. It just seems like there's a lot of miscommunication in
Yeah,
this
my
situation.
beliefs is that you think that I'm a mentally ill person that is only driven by my mentally ill scary things, such as
Ollie, I can only
ADHD.
judge from action I witnessed, and by far I witnessed that people were manipulated. That's all I see. I don't talk to all of these other people you're associated with now.
So why, if you just immediately assumed that, and you thought all this shit was going to hell, why didn't you do what a normal adult would have done and reached out to me? Why didn't you immediately tackle it?
Text you.
Yeah, because I have my privacy settings set up, and if you would have noticed after I don't know what happened. I think you might have unfriended me, but I can only I didn't block you. I can literally text. I can literally. You are not blocked. I can pull up a screenshot right now. You can hear me clicking and all this, and I'm not touching anything.
Ollie, with all the respect, I could care less about the whole friend or unfriend thing.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to explain to you the reason you can't reach out to me. I'm trying to explain the reason you couldn't reach out.
Ollie, it's never a good thing to reach out to a person that had the whole situation happen just a second ago.
Then why didn't you cover it? Why didn't you come directly to the source instead of saying that I'm a mentally ill person and then trying to go, let me see here with the screenshots, directly to Saber's team to get me in trouble? Let's see.
Ollie, hang on. You might not know this because you say you're not the one who started the whole grouping alarm thing.
I'm not.
But somebody by the name of, and I assume you are associated with this person by the name of I Got Sap, went to Saber's team and reported me being a groomer who abused you.
Yeah, and I told him not to do that. I literally told him, don't do that.
It was you who planned that, because why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Let me see. Where's Zooks' DM?
I also tried to talk this out with Zooks because he's a mutual friend. I told him, hey, Zooks, there's some crazy shit happening. I don't know what to do about this. It seems like it's out of control. I seem not to be able to, contact them now because of the heat of that's happening. He said he tried to speak out things. I don't know if he told you about this stuff, but I was reported as a child predator.
He said he said, did you go on Saber's VC and was talking about Lime? I said, I've been asleep. On Saber's staff, one of Saber's staff members informed me that this happened yesterday. And I said, no, I've literally not been active in that server for years. And any of your, staff who was secretly hiding in Saber's server can even look up the last time I talked. And apparently I even had to send Zooks screenshotted proof of the fact that I wasn't even in there. Because apparently he didn't want it. He said, I need the proof.
It doesn't matter what Zooks wants. What matters is what is going on.
No, I get that. But the fact that he needed it probably for you is what upset me. Because I haven't been doing anything.
Ask the staff. He was asking proof from me. I told him, go ask the staff who found this in the first place. And he contacted Micro, I believe. So honestly, if it's not you, and I don't know if I can trust that word of yours or not, but if it's not you, then it seems like the people that you told these things to got influenced very badly. Yet again, another point of miscommunication, which I am really not a big fan of, and I'm considering going to a bit of an extreme to avoid this kind of stuff.
Are you also going to go to an extreme to block out every single mentally ill person?
Oh, no.
Yeah, because that was one of the things you mentioned. Not to mention the fact that you mentioned to Bewee and Cup that you were going to remove my credit from every single build that I had ever done, and you're going to remove Ruby, too. And that the only person you would credit would be Blue Steve.
That was when I was considering it, but then I realized I can't really do that because you do crazy amount of stuff, so I was like, maybe I can still create you, but I can shorten your name so I do not associate you directly with me.
Because and then what about Ruby?
You were the one who spread the false information about me grooming you.
Then what about Ruby? What about Ruby? Why were you going to discredit Ruby? Yeah, Blue got involved. Why were you going to give him the credit?
Because I thought it was all three of you who planned the whole grooming thing.
And once again, this could have been simply answered if you had one of your staff say, hey, Ollie, I need you to text Lime. I would have done it.
It doesn't work like that, Ollie. Whenever a hit situation starts, you don't go directly talk to the person.
I would have gone directly to you. I even said in my goodbye, I said, if you want to discuss things civilly, I'd love to cover that topic with you. It's the very first sentence.
It said that we don't share either a server or you blocked me. That's what it told me, and I assume you blocked me, so okay, there's definitely something happening.
Yeah, again, you could have went to Mystery. You could have went to anyone who was...
I still don't know if it's a lie that you're telling me that you didn't organize this. All I could know now is that you were the one who organized all of this. I don't have any proof of that you didn't. I don't know.
Well, I'm being honest with you. The only thing that happened is I've been dragged into it. I really have. I didn't want it to escalate this bad. I actually...
The person who started all of this was you, Ollie. You were the one who told in people's DMs. You didn't mean to do that. That was uncalled for. I don't know why you did that. That wasn't called for.
I was mad at the time that you defended someone who that should have been their third striking out, not to mention a child watching pornography.
A minor
that
is
you
not a predator, Ollie.
look up the definition of a predator. How is that a joke? How is that? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be raising my voice because I gotta leave here in the next 5 seconds. How was that a joke when Mystery came to you and told you?
European humor. I can't really explain it to you since you don't want to listen to that. So.
Oh no, Dan told me enough. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go. Fuck that asshole, and I'm never talking to him again. Do y'all think I handled that well? Y'all can unmute now, by the way.
Bro.
You handled that very well.